What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I'm going to be doing a penetration test with my 300 Remington Ultra Mag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot at this Solid Steel Masterlock, and this thing is really heavy duty. Look at how thick it is. It is solid steel. It has a boron alloy shackle. And there's the model number if you're interested in looking up the specs. Okay, solid steel pro grade. I mean, this thing is very hefty. It probably weighs like 2 or 3 pounds. Cut resistance 7/16 of an inch. Hardened boron alloy shackle. Solid steel lock for maximum strength. Dual ball locking for maximum pry resistance. So I want to see if I can bust this lock with my 300 Remington Ultra Mag, and I'm going to be using some max hand loads. So I'm going to be using 3 different hand loads. Here on the left, I have a 210 grain cutting edge solid, and it has a muzzle velocity of 3,200 feet per second, and that's 4,900 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Here I have 175 grain LRX with a muzzle velocity of 3,450 feet per second, and that's a muzzle energy of around 4,600 foot-pounds. And then here on the right, I have the 190 grain LRX with a muzzle velocity of 3,400 feet per second and a muzzle energy of 4,900 foot-pounds. So max hand loads, 300 RUM, LRX, and cutting edge solids versus Solid Steel Masterlock. What do you guys think is going to happen? How many shots do you think it'll take to bust this lock apart? And I've already done this test with the 308 Winchester. I'll leave a link to that in the top right corner. I used some M80 ball or 150 grain full metal jacket out of a 16-inch barrel AR-10 for that test. And let me just show you guys the rifle I'm going to be using. So this is a custom rifle. It's a CZ550 with a Bell & Carlson tactical stock, and I have a Krieger barrel on it, and it's a 26-inch barrel, and I have a Silencer Co. Hybrid 46, and this rifle was put together by GA Precision, so it's a custom rifle. So what do you guys think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to take a lot of shots to break this lock open? Do you think maybe even just one shot will pass right through the lock? What do you think? Let's see what happens. All right, guys, so here's our lock. Solid Steel Masterlock. Look at how thick this lock is. Just absolutely ridiculous. So let's hit it with the 300 RUM max hand loads. 4,900 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Let's see what that does to this lock. Is it going to damage it? Is it going to break it open? What do you guys think? All right, guys. 300 RUM versus Solid Steel lock. First shot's going to be with this 190 grain LRX. This is a max load. Should be going around 3,400 feet per second out of that 26-inch barrel. And that should be generating right around 4,800 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Look at the size of this thing. Just absolutely monstrous. Let's see what it does to that lock. All right, guys, so now we're going to hit it with the 210 grain solid flat nose bullet, 3,200 feet per second and around 4,900 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. See what it does to that solid steel lock. Here we go. Fire in the hole. Fire in the hole. Look at how it knocked over that plywood. Here's our lock. Look at this, guys. This was from the 210 grain solid. Made a huge hole, bigger hole than the 190 grain LRX, but it doesn't look like it penetrated as much out the back. It didn't even dent the back over here. Looks like it might have enlarged the crack here a little bit more. I hit a little bit low, so I'm going to aim higher. I want to hit this area up here. That is just ridiculous, guys. That solid just annihilated this lock. Look, it just cracked the metal right here. Look at that. Look at this crack. And there's just nothing left of the part that you put your key into. Look at the size of this hole. I mean, this hole is much larger than the hole from the 190 grain LRX. You can see that it hit that lock with a massive amount of energy. It dented this whole piece right here. Look at how it bent it. Just cracked on the bottom there, and then it bent this whole part right here. That is just insane. So I'm going to take some more shots right up here, right where it says solid steel. I'm going to take some more shots up there and see if we can't bust this lock and get it to open. So far it's not opening. I'm trying to open it and it's still locked. So we want to try to get this lock to open up. So I'm going to hit up here on the top and we'll see what happens. So let's hit it again. All right, guys, so now I'm going to hit that lock with 175 grain LRX, and this should be going around 3450. So we'll see if the higher velocity will penetrate that lock better. It's a little bit less energy than the 190 and the 210, but it's still like over 4,500 foot-pounds. So let's see what happens. I'm going to aim a little bit higher on the lock. All right, here we go. Fire in the hole. Go. Fire in the hole. Wow, guys. So this lock took 3 direct hits from a 300 Ultra Mag, and it's still locked. I can't open it, but that third hit cracked the lock. Look at that. So this was my hit with that 175 grain LRX going around 3450. This was the hit with the 210 grain solid, and then this was the hit with the 190 grain LRX. Looks like the 190 grain penetrated the best out of all of them, but looks like this one hit that boron alloy shackle, and when it hit that shackle, it just blew apart. You can see all the copper in there. Look at that. That looks crazy. The copper's just like melted into that lock, but it cracked it right here. And there's a crack right there. So I think if I hit it one more time, it'll probably shear off. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit it one more time right here, right where that crack is. And I think that'll just shear this whole section of the lock off. And then we should be able to open the lock, but no guarantees. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit it once right there. If that doesn't work, I'll hit it up here somewhere, and we'll see if that does anything. But that is just insane, guys. Absolutely insane. Just cutting through this steel like butter. Absolutely insane. And no dent on the back, just a little bit of a dent. It's very faint though. So let's hit it again, see if we can't crack this whole lock. All right, guys, we're gonna hit it again with the 175 grain LRX, 3,450 feet per second, right around 4,600 foot-pounds. I'm gonna try to bust that shackle open. Wow. Wow. All right, guys, fourth hit on this solid steel lock with the 300 Ultra Mag. Still, I can't unlock it. It's still locked. So I got to probably hit it again over here, or I got to hit it up here where the shackle goes into the lock. But this lock is almost completely cracked. Look at this. Got this huge crack here. Absolutely insane. So we got to hit it one more time. I think that might finish off the lock. Just absolutely ridiculous, guys. Absolutely ridiculous. Look at the damage it did to that plywood. Just sent the whole lock through the plywood and bent the screw here. Look at that. Absolutely insane. So let's hit it one more time. See if we can't bust this lock. All right, guys. I'm going to hit it with the 190 grain LRX. Again, 4,900 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. 3,400 feet per second. Look what happened to our plywood here from all those hits. Let's check out our lock, see what happened to the lock. Oh, wow. Yeah, looks like it's almost completely busted open. Look at this destruction here. Absolutely insane. Almost completely cracked it. Wow, I bet one more hit would finish it off. Probably got to hit it just once more, and that'll bust it open. So let's hit it one more time. That would be the 6th hit on this lock. Absolutely insane. Wow, that is just crazy. The power of the 300 Ultra Mag. I should have probably hit it over here, because that's where the lock actually shackles up, right in this area. But the lock is still holding up. But we got that huge crack in the middle. Absolutely crazy. So let's hit it again, see what happens. All right, guys, 7th shot on that lock. 210 grain cutting edge solid. 3,200 feet per second. Wow. Wow. All right, guys, so it looks like that 7th shot did the trick. Sheared that lock in half. Got one half of it over there, and then we got one half over there. Let me show you guys what happened here. So here's our shackle. This is what's left of it. Check that out. That looks insane. Wow. And then here's our other piece right here. Absolutely insane. Look at how thick this steel is, guys. Some thick steel. Absolutely crazy. It just split the whole lock in half. Absolutely insane. That just looks ridiculous. Wow. So it took 7 hits to split this lock with the 300 Ultra Mag. And I bet if I was hitting it up here where the actual shackle meets the lock, and I was getting precise hits like right where the shackle goes in to the body of the lock, I might have busted it open sooner. Just ridiculous, guys. 300 Remington Ultra Mag is no joke. Look at that. Just cut through this lock like it was butter. Look at that crack right there. Absolutely insane. Got like some metal in there, pieces of metal. That just looks so cool. Wow. This is solid steel, guys. Solid steel. Ridiculous. And then here's the other piece. Look at that. The shackle is fine because it's made of boron. Boron is really hard, so even though those bullets hit the shackle a couple of times, you can see it's got some dents on it, but the shackle is still in good condition. The shackle is harder than the actual lock itself, it seems like. But that is really impressive. Absolutely insane. Looks like it bent the shackle a little bit. You can see it's a little bit bent. But this part right here that locks up with the body of the lock is pretty short. You know, as you can see, it just kind of goes a little bit in. You can see it locks up right in that hole there. So it doesn't go too deep. I bet if I hit it like up here, even just once or twice, it would have opened the lock. So you can see all of my hits were on the bottom and to the left. If I hit up here, it probably would have opened this lock sooner. I was basically shooting at the lock at the strongest part, which is where this long shackle goes all the way down. You see how far down it goes? It goes basically all the way to the bottom of the lock right there. So if you're trying to bust open a lock with a firearm, you want to aim up here where the shackle actually goes into the lock. You want to aim right in here and break apart the lock right in this area, and then you'll be able to open up the lock, or it'll open up on its own. So absolutely crazy, guys. Look at that. Just insane.